Um, oh, my bad. Alarm. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to this little brief conversation. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be brief, but you know.
Y'all just tune in for the exclusive, okay? So that's why I say y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to her as well. I'm gonna put the link in the bio. I'm gonna put everything like social media, everything down, so that y'all can go follow both our social medias and so yeah. Right now, she's cleaning the chicken.
Oh, hi there.
Yes, we are. We're cleaning the chicken because guess what? We don't eat nasty chicken.
Hello. Anyway, where you want to start off at?
Start off with introduction. My name is Lashika. People call me Keisha. And I also wear the title as Minister Caesar. I'm a mother of 5. 3 are biologically mine, and 2 I adopted. They're my cousins. I'm a hairstylist, seamstress, party planner, minister. I got a lot of things under my belt, put it like that. So, but today I just feel like, you know, let's talk about life. Let's talk about how we end up where we are and how we're going to break free from the things that we've been through. Because I'm still breaking free. I haven't completely freed myself, but I'm breaking free.
Well, as y'all, most of y'all already know me. Like, I played football. Well, I used to play football for Pahokee High School. I'm from Pahokee, actually. So, that's why in my name on YouTube is why it's Pahokee Made Cave. The backstory behind that is, you know, I'm from Pahokee. Pahokee made me. Well, God made me, but yeah. I come from Pahokee, Florida. Florida, but my football name is Caveman. So, like, I put, YouTube would have let me put the whole thing in there, so I just like Pahokee Made Cave. I went to and graduated from Florida International University, where I majored in communications and business management. Yeah, we're gonna touch base on everything else later on in this video, but right now we're just introducing ourselves. But yeah, let's get it.
Well, yeah, just like you said, we're both from Pahokee. His mom is my sister. That's my nephew. So, but, you know, to give you a little brief story about me, well, I grew up in Pahokee. I'm from Martin County. I was born in Stewart, and I was raised with my mother. My mother was a teenage parent. She had me at the age of 13. My mother was also an addict of cocaine. My mom also was my first pimp. My mom trafficked me and my sister at a young age, and yeah, basically we had a hard life. My mom had 7 kids, 3 girls, 4 boys. I'm the oldest out of all. Just like, you know, just went through a rough life. Thank God that it didn't take me, you know, all the way out. It took me through some rough patches, you know, like a deep process or whatever. That's what I see it as I learned in the spiritual world. Certain things you go through is just like a process. And
Yeah.
I don't regret anything I've been through. You know, life is life. My mom was, you know, she was mentally messed up also. Her mother was her first pimp also. So, you know, you can't give a person what you don't have. So she gave me what she knew. And, you know, a lot of people try to figure out how could I still deal with her when she was living, because my mom been deceased since 2020 of January the 25th. But, you know, we had a very close relationship on her way out. The last 11 years, my mom was clean in her life. You know, we built this friendship / daughter mothership. But, yeah.
That had been a tough life for real. I as well come from a rough background as well. I just said as well twice, so y'all bear with me. But growing up, I never knew who my biological dad was. So people used to like tell me different kind of stories or what happened, how it happened, where it happened, who he is, what he used to be like, this and that. Like they used to show me like different pictures and all. And I think with people lying to me back then, it kind of put me in a place where I'm like, okay, who should I believe? At that point, like I was led to talking to too many people that knew a lot of things or whatever.
I trust.
Yeah, so it's just like I wanted going to other folks for, what's the word that I'm looking for? I wanted going to other people for confirmation of what really happened. And the only person that led me to what went on for real was my goddad.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, cool. Like, and that turned me to a person who I didn't want to be. Like, I started lying. I started getting into fights, starting trouble with everybody, this and that. Basically, yeah.
Is it because you ended up doing that because you was confused of your identity? You didn't know who you were, where you came from. So, you was told lies. So, hey, was that part of the issue of why you became that person?
I feel like, yeah, most of the times it comes down to that. And not knowing who my biological dad was, because my siblings on my dad's side knew exactly who he was.
Wow.
And I was only 10 months when he got murdered.
Right.
So it kind of that kind of threw me or whatever. I grew up with a father figure. Thank you for those who stepped up.
Amen.
I grew up with multiple father figures, and they don't have to necessarily mean that my mom messed with them or whatever. It just, they stepped in when I needed a male figure in my life to teach me, like, okay, this is wrong, that you don't supposed to be doing this, you don't supposed to be doing that.
Right.
That's the type of guidance that I needed around that time, because the path that I was heading down, the stories that I did hear about my dad, I feel like I was heading down the same path.
Wow.
So I want to say I got to my 6th grade year. Many people know this story, many people don't, so I'm finally putting it out there. Y'all could, y'all bear with me, because, when I finally got to middle school, I got into this huge fight that they said it was a riot or whatever, but it was because of my dad. I used to always use him as an excuse, like, to back me up out of trouble or whatever, but this time it was actually about him. One kid, and I hate to talk like that because he was, I'm gonna try to put it in the best way without getting everybody to like look at me different or whatever. He basically, they tried to use everything as a hate crime.
Right.
For everybody who know what that means, they know,
Okay. What, he had a different sexual preference?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was trying to not say the word.
So, different sexual preference.
Yeah,
okay.
So he was, that way, and they made it seem like I was the over aggressive. I was this and that. I drugged the man around the gym. I did. I guess I was a Superman that day or whatever. But turns out like he the one started the fight, and who I was there, I just roughed him up a little bit, and I stopped because the PE coach came around the corner and said, "Hey, stop before you get a referral." Mind you, this is the last week of my 6th grade year. So at that point, I'm like, what a referral gonna do to me on the end of the week? The ending of my 6th grade. Yeah, everything I already done. So I want to say my friends or ones who I used to hang around, they they came around as soon as I left, and they was playing with them. They was like play fighting, this and that, and they looked at it like we was jumping on the kid.
Right.
So when they left, by the time they got done, I came around. I had a whole like 5 minutes to walk around and clear my mind or whatever, or at least try to let it go. But a part of me didn't let it go.
Okay.
So I came around, and as soon as they got done, me and him fought for real.
Okay.
And when we got done, I walked away again. This time he followed me. So he pushed me. I'm like, yo, like, don't touch me again. We're gonna end up fighting again. And he pushed me again. Cause the first time he pushed me, he was going after the other ones that was just playing.
Right.
So he came back and did it again. So we fight again. Boom. So we fought twice that day. What messed me up was when I got to the guidance counselor, like the principal, everything. I guess they was just mainly on his side because, you know, like I said,
like a hate crime.
yeah, they that's what they tried to treat it as. Man, I tell you, no lie to you, it had got to a point where I had stopped caring about a lot of stuff. Like, genuinely. My mom was crying, this and that. That's the only thing that I was like, all right, bro. Like, I know I done messed up. Yeah, I know I done messed up. So, I think it had got to a point where I was like, you know what, bro? And I was mad at my mom around that time. That's why I didn't feel how I should have felt. You know, most kids don't like to see their parent cry.
Right.
Especially if it's their mom.
Right.
You know. I needed my mom to believe me around that time. I knew I grew up blind. I knew I grew up blind.
Yeah. But
that day right there, I was like, hey man, I don't care what nobody else saying right now. This is what I did. This is how this happened. Yeah. And you know how parents used to be back in the day or whatever. They were like, so that teacher lying on you, this and that. So
you can't disrespect an adult by calling them a liar.
Yeah.
Especially that's how we raised them up. You can't call them an adult a liar. They can be lying, but you not to say they lying. Yeah.
So like around that time, I just felt like she didn't believe me, and that what made me look at my mom a different way. I'm like, okay, well, you believe in them, and I'm telling you, like, I used to play with my fingers and this and that. That's how she knew I was lying with her. I used to play with my fingers. I used to look every different way, but looking at her or whatever. This particular day, I'm telling you,
you looked at her soul.
Everything. I'm talking about, like, I'm trying to, hey, mom, hey, this is what happened, man.
This is
like,
not what you think.
I need you to believe me right now. They told my mama she had 5 minutes to get to the school, or they were gonna have to take me in. She was gonna have to pick me up from the station, the police station. And from that day on forward, I'm glad I kind of like changed. Well, I ain't gonna say kind of, but I'm glad I did change because after that, my grades started going up. We're gonna get into that though, but yeah.
I'm kind of like you on that side. My mom, you know, while she was on drugs and stuff, my mom actually started drugs at the age of 13. It's crazy. After she gave birth to me, she started drugs, cocaine at a young age. Because back in the days, that was like, you know, that was the cool drug then, like marijuana. So they didn't look at it as that was a bad drug. So my mom actually gave me 3 fathers. Neither one of my fathers disclaimed me. And my I wanted to know, like, before she passed, who
the
like,
real one was.
who, like, seriously, like, who is my father? Like, you're telling me this, and I know what you've been telling me since I was a kid. But my mom was pimping, basically whoever she can get money out of. Whoever, you know, whichever family, and she felt as if the family that she gave me to, that they was the best family fit for me. They had money. She felt like, okay, they got money, you know, they can do this, they're gonna do that. And she played it to her best, like she played it. But not realizing that she had already, you know, destroyed my identity as a little girl because I never got a chance to be a little girl. I started getting molested at the age of 7 for her to get high. But, you know, and when she sent me with the family in the muck, my grandparents, like, you know, I was this kid, like, just messed up. I was already, you know, used to stealing food. We didn't have food. My mom got plenty of food stamps. Just when the books was out then. Got to tell y'all about that story too. I got my behind to when I stole them books of food stamps.
Oh, God.
But yeah, my when my mom sent me off to a family, I was excited because I felt as if I was in a safe zone. You know, I felt like all my worries was over. But then again, by me being the oldest, I still had a guilt thing. Like, my sisters and brothers needed me.
I got solar system.
Okay, y'all, that's
My,
blessed.
my little cousin gonna be popping in here and out or whatever,
Yes.
but y'all just
The baby boy.
Just tune it out for a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she felt as if this family was, you know, who she was gonna give me to because, you know, that was her way of pimping and getting money out of them, and then eventually they got me in black and white, so you know she no longer can play the game that she was playing. So, but you know, I thought I was in this happy place, but in that place, in that home, I was also being mistreated, neglected, and also being molested. It was just like, you know, felt like it was just, you know, destruction after destruction. Like, I'm constantly going through it. I'm constantly, then I became this child that, like, you know, so what, like Tamara, I don't care.
Rebellious.
Now, and you know, let's keep it real. I like to be very real. I'm inauthentic. I'm not going to be fake. So I felt like, okay, if everybody's going to use my body as what they need it for, hey, this is my body, so I'm going to do what I want to do with it, and I'm going to do it with who I want to do it with. So I found myself running away as a young girl. You know, everybody around, they just saw that, you know, this young girl that's always just in trouble, always fighting, always. But I always felt like, you know, I had nobody to protect me. So even the people who was good and good for me, they wasn't good for me. They were, but in my eyes, they wasn't because, you know, I wasn't protected. Nobody protected me. Nobody saved me from, you know, these monsters, these men that felt like, hey, you know, and they felt as if I was so promiscuous, my grandparents, and they allowed these things to happen without protecting me. So, you know, after I had my family, I felt like I was going to protect my kids from the same thing that I was suffering for. Yeah. But how could I protect them when
you were still dealing with it?
Right, yeah. And nothing was instilled in me. Yeah. But it was crazy. As a little girl, I always wanted a baby. Yeah. As a little girl. As a little girl, like, okay, when I have my baby, I'm going to take care of my baby. I'm going to protect my baby. I don't know if that's a mind thing.
But you know what, though? I think it is, though. Everything is really a mindset, to be real. Like, I think when it comes out to that right now, especially stories like that, most women that have went through that, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Most women that have went like through the same path that you have went through, most of them be like, I want to treat my kids better than what I was treated like, you know, when I started having kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like that's the majority of the reason why you know, probably felt like that.
Yeah, I did. I felt like, you know, when I get my kid, I would never let this happen to my kid, and I would never do this and that. But the crazy thing is, you know, that came back and it haunted me. My oldest daughter, at the age of 5, she got molested, in my grandmother's house, in Pahokee, by my cousin's boyfriend, kid's father. And the crazy thing was, she waited years later to tell. We had moved like an hour away from Pahokee, which is Palm Beach. She waited years to tell when she thought she was safe. And when she did tell, my grandmother who raised me, would you allow the same thing to happen to me in her home? She was like, oh, like basically like she was coming to be a support to me at the jailhouse when we came down and reported the situation that happened. So she felt as if oh, you know, oh, I'm coming to be a support system. The whole while it wasn't that. She was coming to stop. I mean, she was coming to see what was going on so she could hear everything, so she can go back and make sure that she didn't get in trouble. Because the same thing that was happening to me was happening to the other grandkids in the home. And so one of the grandkids had also told her, like, oh, you know, he touched me. And the same exact words I can remember as a 14-year-old getting snatched down in her kitchen, being held down. He was a drug addict, alcoholic, like holding me down, ripping my clothes, licking my neck, some type of way. I was saying, nobody but God, I got away from him. And she was pulling in the yard, her and her daughter. And as I was out there, I was panicking. My body just was, you know, I'm 14.
Yeah.
So it's like a rush. And then it's like a cry and a hurt and a brokenness.
So you know, I gotta ask. Most women be scared to come out and say things like this,
Right.
Especially to those who like they're close with, because they might be scared of what's gonna happen.
Right.
So how and when did you feel like was the right time to
Tell?
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I told every time. I don't know. I was always this kid coming from my mom and coming from what I went through with her. Because I told her immediately when, you know, because I felt like she didn't know. She left us there with a man. But then I went to realizing the routine that, you know, she was actually pimping us, me and my sister. So when things happened to me, I immediately told, because I felt like, hey, you my protector. You supposed to be protecting me. I don't know. I never held anything back. Never. And the crazy thing, that's why I thought that somebody would protect me. But it wasn't. My grandma, she got out the car. She looked me up and down. And was like, because I was already a problem child. They're not realizing I already been broken, I already been raped, I done been molested, I done lived in a homeless place, I done lived in places where we was taught you have to steal to eat and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So, it was basically like, oh, she's just like this promiscuous, she's getting on my nerves. Like I discussed her, she looked me up and down. I was like, he just tried to rape me. I'm standing, I'm shaking, I got scratches. And she was like, she looked at him, she said, don't play with her no more. So when my daughter reported it and we ended up at this police station, she was sitting there like she was just this support or whatever. Me thinking that's what it was, because I was broken like, damn, you know, I wasn't even thinking about her and what she had done to me as a child and how she allowed it to happen to me in her home. I'm thinking like, damn, this happened to my child. Like now, the same thing that I thought I was going to save her from is affecting her life now. So she went home because the police wanted every kid that was in that house. Every kid. She went home and told them to remove the kids and do not allow the police
Mom?
do not allow the police to talk to the kids.
Mom?
Guess what? At the age of 82, she went to jail for child neglect and endangerment. The whole family was angry at me. Not knowing what happened, what was going on in this house or whatever. Her daughter, which is my grandma, because this is my great grandma we're talking about, who went to jail. Her daughter called me. She was like, I don't know what's going on or what's about my mom. Oh, you can come down here and you can straighten this shit. Remind you, my daughter was touched in the home, but my daughter said my grandma didn't know. And this was by a totally different man. But the other kid that was touched in the house, who told the police when they eventually did get the kids and questioning them, she told him the same exact thing. My grandma told him not to play with me anymore. That broke me. To hear those same words over and knowing like, dang, like you even did this with your other grandkids. But you know, back in the days when they was older, they swept things under the rug. Like we hid things like that.
Mom,
Yes, bless you.
the planets are reversed.
Okay, the planets are great. Thank you, son.
It's called reversed.
Okay.
But so even with your daughter coming to you, my cousin coming to you and telling you this, what was your initial first thought? Like,
Actually, she didn't tell me. She told her stepdad,
and he
who
told
raised
you.
her. He called. He was the living. He was going crazy, and you know he was making threats and stuff like that. Can't air it out on YouTube.
Yeah, that's why
He was there. Like it was, and he called me. He was like, "No, come down here. We finna go ahead." And I'm like, "No, let's just handle this the right way through the law. Let's go ahead and report this." And when they told me, I just broke down. That was like, something that I tried to save my child from. It happened. So that's like a smack in the face, and then there go this mirror. Now you're going. I have anxiety real bad. I have PTSD.
Mom?
Yes, I have PTSD.
Mom?
Yes.
All the comments are reversed.
Okay. I have PTSD real bad. I have to take medication on the daily, to keep me up and going. I suffer from being oh God, what you call it? I have anxiety. It's called, I'm trying to get the correct name. Like I can't be in certain places, and I forgot. It's called something. I get it. We'll get it right eventually. Yeah. But like I can't take a shower with the doors all the way closed. I can't take a shower with the shower curtain always closed because I'm always speaking. To make sure that I'm not, there's a lot of things that I go through still as an adult, like at the age of 43, that you would think that I would have been able to get over. I can't be in crowds like a big, yes.
We need 8 clouds on the rainbow.
Okay.
Mercury are black, Venus are orange, Earth are blue and green, Mars are red, Jupiter's are brown, Saturn's are yellow, Uranus
we're getting a small education thing,
Uranus
y'all.
is teal. Neptune is blue.
Good job. Yay. So, but, life was a ride. Yeah. And you know what? Some people be like, I just don't regret my life because it taught me and it made me who I am today. Bingo. Put it like that.
Yeah. And I could relate to what you just said realistically because instead of going down that same path where I was kind of like taught or whatever, I use football as my advantage to get over a lot of that stuff. Football taught me a lot that my mom probably couldn't have taught
Mercury.
me.
Black.
When
Mom?
I finally got...
We need black for Mercury.
Okay.
We need white dots.
Could you please go in the room while Mama talk?
Circle. Dot, 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 dot.
All right. We'll be back.